This video is going to show you how to make a basic Bolognese sauce. If you look in your recipe book, number 1 says prepare all the ingredients. So we're going to start with our onions. The book says 2 medium onions, but these are quite small, so I'm going to prepare 3 onions. And if you think back to the risotto recipe, we chopped off the tip of the onion, we chopped off the bottom of the oven like that, and then we peeled off all the brown skin. Remove the brown skin off of our board so it doesn't end up in our recipe. Using our bridge grip, we cut through this middle of the onion, we put the flat side down, we come through the onion 4 or 5 times this way, hold it together, turn it that way, come across again like that, and then repeat until the whole onion is diced. Just slicing my last onion now, so come across 4 or 5 times, turn it around, come back across this way, move it to one edge of your board, or you might want to put it in a bowl so you've got a clean board to cut the celery up next. The next ingredient that I'm going to prepare is the celery. So we need to top and tail it, so we know by now that means cutting off the bottom and the top of each piece, like that. I've washed my celery, you can see it's glistening, and I'm going to cut down the length of it now by using my bridge hold, putting my knife under the bridge and just running the knife down the length of the celery, moving my fingers along as I go. Cut that one in half, the same with this, so bridge hold over, knife through the middle, keep moving your fingers down, cut them in half, and then we can take 2 pieces at a time. You can just slice them, so I'm using my claw grip to hold the 2 pieces together. You could cut 1 piece at a time if you wanted to. You're going to come all the way down like this on all 4 sticks of celery, like that. So my celery is chopped. I'm going to pop it in a bowl so I keep my chopping board clear, ready for the carrot, like that. So again, I've washed my carrots. I'm not going to peel them. We wouldn't get you to peel them in school, but if you really want to, you can do that. And I'm going to top and tail it like that. Same with the other carrot. Remove the bits so you don't end up with them in your Bolognese sauce. Bridge hold over, and we're going to cut the carrot in half, just like we did the celery. The carrot's much tougher to cut through, so you might need to rock the knife to make it go all the way through. Do that on the other one as well, like that. There we are. And then just like we did with the celery, but popping the flat side of the carrot down on the board to make it more stable. Bridge hold, cut each piece in half again. So you're going to end up with 8 pieces of carrot, like that. This one's a bit bendy. And then I'm going to come across, just like I did with the celery, and cut each of these sticks a little bit finer. So we're dicing our carrot. So again, if you want to, you can cut 1 stick at a time if you find that easier. So my carrot's diced, and I'm going to add it to the bowl with my celery. So my chopping board is ready to crush my garlic. So just a quick reminder about garlic. This is a bulb of garlic. This is a clove of garlic, and you break the bulb up to get the cloves out. So we need 2 cloves of garlic, and we're going to top and tail them so that we can take the papery skin off. If you cut the tip and the top and tail off and then hold the knife down, you can see that the skin does actually come away quite easily on the knife to start with, and then you can just get your nail or your finger underneath the rest of it to pull it apart. So that's the first one. So cut the tip off, hold the knife down, and that peels off the papery skin like that. And then the recipe tells us to chop the garlic. So you can either chop the garlic with a knife like this in nice thin slices, or if you want to, you can use a garlic crusher. So you open the crusher, pop the clove in, squeeze it together, and the garlic comes out like that. So we've prepared all our ingredients and we're ready to start cooking now. I've put some oil into my pan, about a tablespoon's worth. I'm going to turn the heat on up to high I'm going to add my onion, like that. And if you look at your recipe book, stage 2, it says add your mince. Now I'm using corn mince, which you don't need to add yet because it doesn't actually need to be browned off like meat does. So if you're using lamb mince or beef mince or pork mince, you need to add that now with your onions and your bacon or pancetta. So I ordered pancetta, but this is what arrived on my food delivery, and it's diced bacon, so they've done all the hard work for me. I'm going to add that. And then in a minute it will start to sizzle as the heat hits the pan, and I'm going to fry this until my onion goes translucent and my meat has turned sort of like a more whitey colour, and you can tell that it's cooked, it's not red and raw. So my bacon and my onion is just about cooked now. My onion has gone translucent and my bacon has turned much lighter in colour, so I know it's cooked properly. I turned it down a little bit when it was frying from the highest heat, so it didn't burn on the bottom. It's on about number 10 now for me, 10 out of 14. And we're going to work down the list now and add the rest of our ingredients. So we're going to add our carrot and our celery that we chopped up earlier. We're going to add our garlic that we crushed or chopped, like that. If you're using corn mince, this is the time to add it. So between 300 and 500 grams, I've put 500 grams in there. I think that's what I'll need to feed my family. 1 tin of chopped tomatoes, in they go like that. 1 stock cube. So stock cubes, again, they come in all different shapes, sizes. You unwrap it, or if you've got one in a pot, you peel the lid off and just crumble it in to help it start to absorb into the mix. We want 2 teaspoons of mixed herbs, or if you haven't got mixed herbs, you could use any dried herb you've got in your cupboard. 2 teaspoons of that. 2 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar. I don't normally put this in my spaghetti bolognese, so I'm interested to see how it turns out. This is Mrs. Halloran's idea. So 2 tablespoons like that. Some salt and pepper. I'm not going to put any salt in because I think there's enough salt in my stock cube already, but I'm going to put lots of ground pepper in. Measured out 100 millimetres that I'm going to add, but because I'm using corn mince, I'm probably going to need to add a little bit more than that because the corn mince is much drier than the meat mince. So mix it all by taking it from the outside into the middle, and that will stop it spraying all over your cooker, and you won't have to do quite so much cleaning up later on. You can hear that it stopped sizzling because I've put lots of cold ingredients into the pan, so I'm going to turn the heat back up now. And I'm going to fill my empty tomato can up with water, and then I can add a little bit more water and swill the can out. So I'm adding more water because I'm using corn mince. You won't need to do that if you're using meat. There's 1 teaspoon of chilli flakes going in just to add a little bit of depth and heat to the mix. So mix those in next. Like that. Once you're happy that you've got it all mixed together, I'm going to put the lid on once it's come to the boil. Turn it down to a simmer, so that's when you can just see gentle bubbles rising up, and we're going to simmer it for 20 minutes. So every now and again while it's cooking, just lift the lid off, give it a little stir, make sure it's not drying out too much if you're using corn mince, or to make sure it's not sticking at the bottom of the pan. And then once the 20 minutes is up, we can switch the heat off. So you can hear the timer going off now, so that means my 20 minutes is up. And turn the heat off, take the lid off, switch my timer off, and there you have it, a lovely spaghetti bolognese mix that you can serve on a jacket potato or on spaghetti pasta. You can make your own garlic bread to have with it, or you could buy some from the supermarket. I just hope it's really tasty for you. You really enjoyed making it, and please send us some photographs via Google Classroom so we can see your outcomes. Thank you. Bye bye.